Hello, fellow teachers. I'm Craig Saganti, author of Classroom Discipline 101, How to Get Control of Any Classroom, no matter how tough the students. Now, you might be thinking, Craig, if you think you can get control of any classroom, you haven't seen what it's like in my classroom, or felt what it's like to be in my situation, or struggled with the kinds of students I have to deal with. Well, I probably have. I taught in some of Los Angeles' toughest schools for over 20 years. I've taught full-time at inner-city middle schools, high schools. I taught at Los Angeles County probation camps and interim schools. And I've also been a long-term substitute in well over 80 schools. And unlike your college professors and the behavior theorists psychobabbling about how you are going to use their abstract ideas to run a fantasy world classroom, I'm still in the trenches with you and know what you are up against. I've been in over 12,000 classrooms in my life, and it's safe to say I've experienced just about any difficult situation that can come up in a classroom. My first few years teaching, I was where you are right now. I had no idea how to deal with these chaotic classes and suffered everything you may be experiencing now. Noisy students, disruptive students, defiant students, manipulative students, low-level buzz, talking through your lesson, students out of their seats, students arguing with you, students not paying attention, students pulling out their electronics, students acting as if you aren't even there. And what I consider the worst thing that schools and teachers encounter way too often these days, disrespect. Many times, even extreme disrespect towards a teaching professional, which is absolutely intolerable. The stress the modern classroom may be causing you is enormous. You may even feel let down that you got into this profession to help students grow and achieve, but instead of being appreciated for that, as you should, you are facing a wall of disruption and disrespect. Well, a disruptive classroom environment can ruin your teaching day, your semester, and your career. It takes its toll on your blood pressure and other aspects of your physical health, as well as take its toll on your mental health. It can cause discouragement, depression, anxiety. I know, it did for me. You're not alone if this is the way you feel. Good teachers are burning out and they are leaving the profession early. And this is a shame, especially when the majority of you got in the profession to bring the wonderful gifts you have to offer students in the first place. You should be appreciated for that, not suffer for it. I know how teachers are experiencing stress and emotional pain over this. You're expected to keep this wonderful classroom environment with some lofty ideals and abstract notions meant to sound good by politicians and theorists that simply have nothing to do with the reality you see and feel every day. And you haven't been given the proper tools to do the job of keeping your classroom focused, attentive, and on task at all times. You're often advised to use idealistic techniques and ideas that sound good that simply have nothing to do with the reality of your situation and do nothing to help you get the consistent environment you want and deserve. You do believe you deserve to teach respectful, focused, on-task students every day and every class, don't you? I know I do. And the truth is, you will never enjoy your teaching career until you learn to create that environment in every classroom, every time, and make it a priority that you will get this part of your teaching career handled once and for all. You can't leave it up to chance. So you go home stressed out, maybe dreading coming into work each day, knowing what you have to face. Let me give you an example. Have you been told things like, have high expectations for students and use alternative teaching strategies and make more engaging lessons and build relationships, and students need to feel you like them in order to learn? Yeah, me too. That's why I had to come up with my own system that actually works in the real world. You probably have discovered that nice sounding theories and abstract concepts do not lead to an optimal environment for focused learning, but to disorder, manipulation, and chaos. These are lofty abstractions, and you need concrete methods which lead to concrete results. You cannot use high expectations to discipline a student. You can't build a relationship with a student to curb misbehavior any more than you can bring down a charging rhinoceros with positive feelings. Now, you may very well have positive expectations for those students and the rhinoceros, but you're never going to achieve them by having them manipulate you or spouting abstract ideas on their behavior. And if you haven't already learned, students manipulate and take advantage of teachers when they think you are naive. That's right, naive teachers do not earn students' respect. To actually achieve the high standards of behavior that will match high expectations, you need a practical system, not vague ideas and weak suggestions and tips. If those worked, I would never have needed to come up with my own system. Pointing out to a student their behavior is inappropriate does nothing to correct that behavior long term. Now, I'm going to show you how to create an environment where students rarely attempt, much less repeat these behaviors. See, it's not one or the other, discipline or positive expectations. for the students. You need discipline because you have high expectations for the students, and creating the right atmosphere with a series of concrete, proven steps is the only way you are ever going to give them the marvelous gifts of instruction you want to get across to them. The people who suggest these abstract ideas and complicated intervention steps don't seem to realize that you might have 20 students in a class doing inappropriate behaviors, and that if you are busy addressing these every day, you'll never get around to teaching. Brittany, turn around. I have high expectations for you. Marion, stop talking because I understand your cultural background. Genghis, if you don't put down that blowtorch right now, I'll be disappointed. That's a warning. That's a warning. That's a special warning. That's a check and a warning. You're in big trouble now. Teachers, you cannot spend an enjoyable teaching career this way. If you don't do something about it, things are not going to improve on their own. You can't hope to get better classes next year, or that students will suddenly start learning more respect in the home, or try to ride it out till that one problem student leaves your class. Guess what? He or she will be back next year disguised as someone else. The faces may change, but the behavior remains the same. Well, when you just hope for things to change for the better, you take the power out of your own hands and put it out there where you have no control. And you have to hope something on the outside changes. You can't hope that administration backs you up and takes care of your problems. You can't hope that a parent call home will solve the problem or a visit to the counselor. These things take the power out of your hands. What I'm going to show you how to do in Classroom Discipline 101 is how to put the power back in your own hands where it belongs. I'm going to show you how not to suffer this stress anymore in your classrooms. It just should not be a part of your day. I'm going to show you how to get control of your classroom so you can enjoy your teaching day and go home relaxed and stress-free like you deserve after all your hard work and earn the respect of your students. Something you will never do as long as they feel they can manipulate you. Now, how do you eliminate behavior problems in your classroom, no matter how tough the students? You do it principally through accountability and leverage. Now, I want you to keep in mind that the system I give you, step by step in Classroom Discipline 101, is the same system I've used to get some of the most notorious, out of control, defiant, disrespectful students anywhere to behave like model students. Okay? That's high expectations. C.M. Charles, the author of the leading university textbook, Building Classroom Discipline, was so impressed when he read my book, he devoted an entire chapter about my system in his text. You can also read reviews online. Classroom Discipline 101 is what I call a closed system, just like math is a closed system, meaning there should be no doubt about the outcome. 2 plus 2 will always equal 4, and using what I show you in the book will always result in you getting your classroom in order. I don't give you a few tips or techniques to try or abstract theory you can't apply. Instead, I show you how to set things up in your classroom so that students end up having to behave. Sound good? My whole paradigm, unlike the other failed things you've tried, is that you, the teacher, must have an atmosphere in your classroom where you are spending all your time and energy with the instruction, not disciplining students or enduring behavior problems. Otherwise, you are going to get worn down, discouraged, burnout, and that's what's happening to teachers in schools all across America and the globe today. Well, I'm glad you found this site because you are going to be a part of a different club, what I call my MPTs, Manipulation-Proof Teachers. I'm going to teach you to teach your students to not even want to try that stuff with you. Now, that does not mean that if you were to enter my class, it would look like a military dictatorship or any other of those lame predictions of the theorists. It's going to look just like what a classroom should look like. A quiet, focused, on-task group of young minds learning to the best of their ability and getting the education they deserve in a sane atmosphere, and that's what I call a positive environment. To end your stress, you've got to know you've got the tools to get this result with any class, anytime, anywhere. You're going to use this system to virtually eliminate behavior problems, not deal with them over and over. That's the big flaw with the other ideas out there. They think you have the energy to start over every day and deal with these things over and over. What I'm offering to you is a promise. And I'm not saying, try this and try this. Good luck. I'm teaching you do this and do this, follow these steps, and your classroom will be in order in a couple of days to a week, or take your money back. So that, I think, is as good as it gets. And the real beauty is once you have the system I outline in Classroom Discipline 101 and know how to implement it, things run on autopilot. You're not repeating yourself to the students day in and day out or trying useless intervention steps over and over again. Now, can you picture having that for your own classrooms starting this week and continuing for the rest of your career? How good will that feel, having a respectful, focused classroom every day? If you are out there trying to teach every day over a little buzz, It means the concentration and the learning power of the students is down. Not good enough. Come on, let's not talk about high expectations. Let's demand them as the adults in charge of our children's future. I look at it not like a game, but a movie where the script is already written and the outcome is inevitable. And guess who the hero or heroine is? It's you. You are the hero or heroine, the teacher. You win. And when you win, that's right, the students win also because they get a better education. There's nothing positive about a chaotic or disruptive classroom. Now, the great thing here is you can join my Classroom Discipline 101 membership site and try it without any risk. None. If the book doesn't show you the way absolutely to achieve the kind of environment you want and deserve for your classroom in a very short time, just ask. You will receive a prompt and courteous refund, no questions asked. There's absolutely no risk to you, so let's consider. Things can go on in your classroom the way they've been going on. You can continue to dread all or part of your teaching day, or you can start right now to take the steps you need to take to enjoy the classroom environment you want and deserve. And end that chronic stress right now. Won't it feel wonderful to come to school every day and walk into your classroom, knowing for sure that you're going to get the respect, knowing for sure that you're going to have the students' attention, knowing for sure that you're going to get the on-task behavior you need for an enjoyable teaching experience? That's right. You're not there until you're enjoying yourself. So hit the Buy Now button, join my membership site, get lifetime access to the book Classroom Discipline 101, and have this information within minutes. I guarantee you will learn more from this manual in a couple hours than you did in all your college courses on the subject. Because my research includes me teaching over 12,000 students in over 80 secondary schools in the inner city and other parts of Los Angeles of all ages, abilities, and economic backgrounds, as well as being a full-time teacher and a long-term and day-to-day substitute, and there's nothing theoretical about that. Remember, a superior classroom environment should not take months or even weeks to accomplish. Using Classroom Discipline 101, you will see results immediately and within days enjoy the kind of classroom atmosphere you've always wanted. Respectful, focused, and on task at all times. That's a beautiful thing. Not only that, I'm going to give you some free bonus materials when you join. I'm going to give you access to the mini ebooks Psychology of a Manipulation-Proof Teacher, Evolution of a Classroom Discipline Expert, and the Substitute Survival Manual. Now, all of this is hundreds, if not thousands of dollars of value if you consider a lifetime of headaches and frustration you're going to avoid. Not to mention the cost of useless college courses that didn't prepare you. But right now, you can join my site for less than a couple hours teaching salary. And we know that's not much, though this price might end soon. Now, if you still want more, you'll also be able to join my private Facebook group where you can post questions and comments for me and other manipulation-proof teachers who've also decided to get this handled and enjoy their teaching career. So let's review what you get with the basic membership. Lifetime access to the book Classroom Discipline 101, the mini ebook The Psychology of a Manipulation-Proof Teacher, How to Keep Your Inner Game Strong and Handle Any Unexpected Situation, Evolution of a Classroom Discipline Expert, the story of how I came up with the system after a few years' frustration and stress, the Substitute Survival Manual. Being a sub brings some different challenges, and this will show you the way to approach them. All of this with a no risk, no questions asked, money back guarantee. If you are not completely satisfied within 60 days, my mission for all teachers is that you get the respect you deserve and enjoy your teaching career while bringing the best you have to offer to your students and to eliminate the stress of constant behavior issues preventing this. So decide right now you will not settle for mediocrity, but do what it takes to achieve high standards of behavior in your classroom. I thank you for your time, and I congratulate you on taking the steps you need to get the classroom environment you really want. And let's improve our schools this way, one classroom at a time. Click the link below and start getting your classrooms in order starting now.